I like Melo, man. I think that the same way any team in the NBA, looking back when LeBron was coming in, if you ask them right now, like, man, what y'all should have, if we could have gave up whatever we had to get LeBron, like they all today, hindsight 2020 would make that decision. I feel like in 5 years, looking back at this draft, if you were debating whether or not you should do whatever it took to get Melo, or I feel like in 5 years you're gonna be like, damn, we should have did it, man.
Of
We
Oh
course.
was
yeah, for sure.
we was holding on to Mitchell Robinson, and we could have had Melo. You know what I'm saying? We was what's the boy that just who was on the team with Duke, who was up in New York right now?
RJ Barrett.
We was trying to keep RJ Barrett. We could have had Melo.
I got a question
House.
about RJ Barrett though. Like, it was crazy because to me, when I look at the positions that they were playing in the NBA, Cam Reddish, RJ Barrett, and Zion, what I noticed is it seemed like to me that it like Duke put three small forwards on the floor, and only one of the three could kind of shoot really good, and that was RJ. Because now that they in the league, specifically with Reddish and RJ, and they're talking about RJ didn't shoot that well, and Cam Reddish is nothing but a glorified role player. He won't really be good. Is that weird to y'all?
Well, okay, I wouldn't say all that about Cam. I personally think Cam's gonna be nice. You're talking about 19-year-old, 20-year-old kids. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like for all of them, they all have an opportunity to get better. I mean, when we haven't seen the best of RJ Barrett's shot, definitely. We haven't seen the best of Cam Reddish. We haven't even seen him with the ball in his hand before. So, I think all these rookies from last year, I think the only one that really stood out and put his stamp on the game, probably like a couple of them, maybe John Moran and Tyler Hero and Zion. But besides those three, like everybody else has room to grow, and that's what the NBA is for. I mean, they draft young because of potential. They don't draft young for you to come in and be cold.
Yeah. And I'm not expecting them to either.
Which I think that to your question of like just these young prospects, I feel like that is also like what is hindering the NBA a bit right now is if you are in high school and you a top 10 player, like you expect to be one and done, regardless of if you dominate in college or not. Like before you had to, like you could come out early, like even when it was in high school, you had to be like that guy in order to do that. You know what I'm saying? You had to be Carmelo, who go to college, win a damn championship, and then feel like, all right, now I can go to the NBA. Now you could come off the bench in your college season and then go to the NBA.
Drafted first round.
It's exactly like I don't know what it is, and like you said, it's they looking at potential and not what you have. But I think it hurts these young players because we be in these positions where we at now, where you look at RJ or Cam and you be like, man, they trash. Truth of the matter is, but I'm saying they not trash. They just young as hell.
Yeah. And I mean, it might, but personally, that's the difference. That's why I don't like when they try to compare LaMelo to all these other people. It's like this boy played pro. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude been playing pro since he was 16. And regardless of what you say, he has the experience that these guys don't have with the rock in his hands, and that's the difference. Like, a lot of these, even in college, a lot of these college players they didn't have the ball in their hands. They didn't have to make decisions. Yeah. So, a lot of these people might be able to make decisions, but they're not on the level of LaMelo, who's had the ball in his hands already as point guard. Mm-hmm. He's obviously the best point guard. He's 6'8". You're not getting like it's like what you said, bro. Like, eventually, a lot of these people are going to look back and be like, damn, I probably should have sent those picks for that kid.
Yep. Yeah.
Not including the brand.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, not already including, like, how much revenue he's about to bring in for these cats, bro. Like, the amount of, like, jersey sales is going to be ridiculous. Let's be honest. He might jump in the top 5. He probably will jump in the top 5. Easy. Especially if he has a good rookie year.
That's a fact. Yeah. I believe that's going to be huge for whatever team. The jersey sales is going to be ridiculous for Melo. If folks already waiting on draft night, the NBA need to go ahead and have pre-orders for the jersey like right away. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be bananas. I'm trying to add Kid Max here, but he I had some technical difficulties.
The Illawarra Hawks jersey sold out like right away.
The Hawks, the Vitotas jersey sold out right away. You know what I mean? And they was taxing. They wasn't like giving these jerseys away. Like you had to spend $100
it was
on
some
the jersey.
cheese.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like it was Nike hella quality. You know what I'm saying? It's a paper mache jersey.
The kid is worldwide. I mean, like that's the difference between like I saw DKN was talking about how him and Zion, like, oh, he's bigger than Zion. I agree. I mean, like, Zion's huge, but Zion got huge. He was huge in high school, but he cemented himself at Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody been known about Melo since he was a freshman. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they watched him grow, so they already have the emotional attachment. Then you add in the fact that he played in other countries, so all these people in the countries are going to be buying his stuff too. And then now you have a brand that's worldwide with Puma, where they can go to all these European countries because they already sell stuff there, right? So now you can like just have that connection off rip. Like he's set up to have a lot of success, a lot.
You know what? It is interesting, and I don't think that I had thought about this till you just said that. Like, yes, LaMelo is an international figure at this point, right? Because the brand, even with the international incident with Jello in China, right? That was a global phenomenon. You know, him traveling around the world and playing basketball in Europe, in Australia, global phenomenon because of that. Folks pulled up and showed out. But I think that I forget that while Puma like market value here in the United States is not crazy, like maybe the brand recognition in these other countries is a bit like stronger than what, because they more soccer exactly. So as they try to expand their reach into basketball, like for somebody overseas who probably already got 3 or 4 Puma soccer cleats, it's not a big ask to be like, damn, now I can get the Puma basketball joints for Melo.
Exactly. Like, the T-shirt, they probably gonna have a different type of jersey with Melo on the back, like, and as long as the Puma logo on it, you know they're gonna be comfortable copping.
Yeah, and I think too, one of the big things that folks are going to appreciate with the Puma thing is the accessibility that it's gonna have, and like the quality that you don't have to guess. You know what I'm saying? So like, folks could talk trash about the brand and say, but you ain't gonna get it. You know what I mean? Like those type of issues are not going to happen with the Puma, the Puma bag or the Puma merch. You know what I'm saying? So, but even though I feel like a lot of times it wasn't warranted for the brand, but like I think that to the casual, it's going to be one less question that you got to ask when you start to thinking about Melo Ball and copping his merch.
Yo, I wanted to ask you something. Do you think like the draft process when it comes to him specifically, like even though we know what his inefficiencies are, that a lot of people are just nitpicking still because they're mad that he's possibly gonna go top 3?
I think that folks are mad that he's gonna be top 3? I think I would say that I think the reason why we've seen him go from in the last year, 2 years from and not being on a draft board at all, like folks didn't even have him, they were acting like he didn't exist, to like being on the draft board, but like in the second round on some of these folks, to now being like a no-brainer number 1 pick, is because we seeing him get closer and closer to like what normal is. You know what I'm saying? So like if he had gotten drafted top 3 coming straight out of the JBA, or not going back to high school and not jumping through some of these hoops that we've seen him jump through, I think people would have hated his guts. You know what I'm saying? Like the system would have been like, but wait a minute, y'all been making me play like this for this long, and now all of a sudden you telling me I could have just I feel like folks would have been sick to their stomach. But I think that now we've seen him like kind of act like it's a more of a traditional route where he go over to Australia, playing the NBL, dominate, and it just make more sense to some of the people now. You even see when ESPN talk about him, they leave out some of his stops that he's made.
Yeah, JBA and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of crazy because it's almost like I feel like for more of the people, I think the problem is it's hard to believe that the kid pulled it off, basically. Because at the end of the day, we seen him from a freshman, right? So we seen he was gonna be good. But how many people do we really get to see, especially the younger brother of a player, like in this age of technology with 5.6 million followers on Instagram? Like we saw him from when he was a kid, and 5 years later he's about to be in the league, right? And we saw all the turmoil, the crap he been through. Like we've seen it all because all been public, and he's always in front of the camera. So it's like, for a lot of people, one, they don't like LeVar already.
Mm-hmm.
Two, they don't like the result of what happened with Lonzo in the league after LeVar was talking. So the main thing is they're looking at him and they're like, yeah, we don't even believe, or we didn't want to believe that he was going to be what he is now. But every time, like, you have an ESPN show or whatever, they're talking about a 6'8" point guard, LaMelo Ball. Like he's the picture on everybody's draft board. He's the screen on everybody's YouTube video. He's, you know what I'm saying? Like people, you can say what you want about everybody else in the draft. This is Melo's draft. It was his draft before it started, but now it's definitely his draft.
Yeah.